How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to an episode here on Let's Build Twitter. As always, I'm Ethan, or Unknown Coder, your favorite underqualified senior software engineer. And as always, if you guys do want access to the private repository, there is a link in the description down below that'll actually walk you through how to get access to that. But with that being said, let's go and hop into what we're working on today. Today, we're trying to finally wrap up everything on our notifications page. That includes the verified notifications as well as mentions. I went ahead and got onto the alt account that I made way back whenever I started this and made a mention. Now we can just test that. This may be a long episode, this may be a short one, I'm not sure, but that's our goal today, is try to wrap everything up. Realistically, there's not that many code changes, it's just going to be kind of all over the place. So with that being said, let's go and hop into the code and get to work here. So we're basically going to go and start out where we left off yesterday, and let me go and close out of Vim and reopen it just to make sure I'm actually on the main branch here. All right, like I said, we're going to start out where we left off. We need to go ahead and make a couple SVGs to wrap up those components we made yesterday. So let's go into components and then SVGs, and I'm going to hit A. And we're going to go ahead and say like notification svg.tsx. Let's go in there and let's go over to Twitter and grab this SVG. So over on Twitter, we should be able to find a like, which is this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and inspect. I'm going to go into here. I'm going to grab this guy. I want the whole SVG. Right click, copy element like so. And then let's go ahead and first import our SVG props, and we want this from our global interfaces, and then we need to go ahead and export default function, and we called this like notification and then SVG, and then we need to go ahead and say props are our SVG props, and we can return. And then we can go ahead and paste that. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up really quick and I'll be right back. Now we need to get rid of this class. Let's go ahead and highlight this guy like so and delete him. We need height. And this will be equal to props.height. We need width. And this will be equal to props.width. And we need to go ahead and do our fill. So inside path, we'll say fill is equal to props.color question mark. This will be props.color. Otherwise, we will do black. So we'll just say pound, maybe 000. Okay, so there's our first SVG. So now let's go ahead and go in here again, go under SVGs. And here we're going to go and say repost notification svg.tsx. Let's go in here. Let's go back. First, actually, let's go and import our SVG props like so. And then we'll go ahead and export defaults. So export defaults function, and we call this repost notification SVG. And then we need to take in our props, which will be SVG props. And then we can return. And then let's hop on to Twitter. So now on Twitter, we go our repost, which is here. Grab the SVG, copy element, do that. And then we shouldn't need this anymore. So let's go and get rid of that. Paste it in, and I'll clean this up really quick. Looks better. Let's go and get rid of our class. Let's go and highlight our class like so once again. Delete that. We need our height, which will be equal to props.height. We need our width, which will be equal to props.width. And then we need to do our fill. So here, fill is equal to props.color. Question mark, if it exists, will be props.color. Otherwise, it'll just be black. So we'll say pound 000. So that was easy enough. That is our SVGs. So now we need to go ahead and actually update our notification again. So this one says to handle taking in replies. And I believe this is because originally the notifications for replies were just coming in as the mentioned replies, but we actually want these to be inside of our all notifications as well. So let's go into our notification, and this is what I meant by things might be a little bit finicky because I got to kind of figure out where things are supposed to go. So here by our notification top, we're going to go and wrap this inside of curly braces, and it's going to go down to where the children are as well. So it's going to be like that. Let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. We're going to make a little bit of a CSS change here. I might not have made this perfect, but it is what it is. Actually, let's do this. Cool. So now on notification top, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to have notifications of 0 dot notification type is not equal to reply. And we're going to go ahead and do the div container top yada, yada, yada. And I think that might be it for this. Let me just double check everything. And this should be reply like so. Let me just double check this is all I want to do here though. I think that is correct because all we want to make sure is we only want the PFPs and all of this stuff if it's not a reply. And this should probably be or mention here, but I think I come back and fix this later because I kind of did this in two separate parts. So we're going to keep this as is and we'll kind of debug if we need to. So now what we need to go and do is we need to go back into our post and make a couple changes to make this actually work. So let's go into our post component, and inside of our post component, we're going to go down to line 74 really quick. So here on line 74, we're going to make a change. So here we're going to say, is it a notification? If it is, we're going to have no CSS. Otherwise, we'll do our post. Okay. And then we're going to go down to line 81, which is about right here. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to wrap this inside of curly braces. We're going to see, are you a notification? If it is a notification, we're going to have a different type of CSS. So let's go ahead and do this and fix that. And this is going to say post dash body dash wrapper dash notification. Otherwise, it's gonna be post wrapper post wrapper body. And then the same thing here for post left. We're gonna wrap this. We're gonna say, is it a notification? If it is, then we're gonna go ahead and have a different CSS. This will be post dash left dash notification. So just slightly different CSS for these different things. And then here we're going to have basically no CSS for post. And I think this is basically just like the outline and a couple of different padding things. We're going to deal with that inside notification itself. So let's go into the CSS instead of these two new classes. I'm just going to go down like to the bottom. Actually, we can put it here, I guess, because this is by the wrapper. So this will be dot post dash body dash wrapper dash notification, maybe. And then this will be width 100%, height fit content, display flex, padding 0, and margin 0. We'll come down below post left and do something similar. We didn't need to put them by each other, but it's kind of nice to have it here. So we dot post dash left dash notification, and he'll be width 8%, maybe. And we'll have height 100%, display flex, and finally padding 0 and margin 0. So that should be good to go. And now the last thing we need to go and do is make it so that our notifications page can be able to accept replies. So let's go ahead and go into there. And in here right now, we're only watching notifications all for follow and post action. We actually want this to have mention notifications as well. So go ahead and say notification state dot mention notifications. So if these change, whatever, we'll add these as well, which now that I think about it, this isn't needed the way that we're doing things. So I might have to modify the way I was working on this, but it is what it is. Let's go in WA and let's see if we have any major issues going on. If not, if we don't need like major issues that I can see, we'll probably go ahead and just continue working. So let's hop into our front end, and it looks like we do have some issues. Let's see notifications. Oh, we need the dot dot dot, it seems. Try that. There we go. Let's see if we get our notifications back. So these, we haven't put in the icons yet, and I don't think I actually put the code in to add the icons, so that's no good. We need to fix that up. Let's see. But the reply is looking good actually. So that looks good. The text looks a little bit big, but from what I understand, it should be correct. But we need to add in the icons to these, so that's why that's looking weird. So let's see if we can figure out where to do that at. So let's go back into notifications all, I'm assuming, and let's see here. So it's going to be wherever we actually map our notifications to components. So like here, like yada yada yada. So we need to add these icons. So this is something I just completely forgot about basically. So here for our like, we're going to want the like notification icon. So let's go ahead and say like notification SVG. And let me find the code for this because I don't remember the height and width for these. So I'm just going to put height, width, and then color for now. Whoops. And then let's make sure we close this. so it doesn't complain. So let's go ahead and find this. I don't know how this slipped my mind. So height and width will be 30. So let's say 30 and 30. And then color is going to be RGB. So RGB. And then inside the RGB, we're going to have 0, 186. And then this is going to be, actually I did the wrong color. This was for the other one. So this one needs to be 249. And then it needs to be 24. And then it needs to be 128, like so. So that should be the icon for that guy. And then let's go into our repost icon. So here we'll have repost notification SVG. Height and width will be the same. So height will be 30, width will be 30, and then color will be different because this one's like a red color. So RGB, and this red color is 0, 186, and then 124. Then let's go ahead and close this off, save that. So that should do a little bit of work for us. And then I might still need to tweak some CSS. We'll see, but let's go back into our front end and just see if things are looking a little bit better here. There we go. So yeah, now there's still a little bit of spacing issue on the side that we need to work on. And I think we'll get that fixed. And I don't know why this is so weird, but there's just a few changes and things that we still need to make. So I wouldn't be too concerned about these not being quite right yet. We'll get it fixed. But with that being said, this is looking better. We'll get all of this fixed up as we get going. So let's continue on here. So there's one more thing that I want to go and fix on our front end that I wanted to do last episode that we didn't have time. So let's go back into our navigation. And here, instead of watching the links, we're just going to go and watch the notifications.follow notification. We're going to watch notifications.mention notification. We're going to watch notifications new post notification. And honestly, I don't know if we actually need to do that. And we're going to watch notifications post action notifications. So it's still mad at us, but this works better than what we were doing. And now it actually reloads whenever you like click on them. So that should be good for the front end for finishing up all of those other ones, like the post action ones. Now we want to go and hop onto the back end and set up our mentions. That way we can get mention notifications done and then kind of wrap up all the notifications outside of messages, which we need to set up anyway. Let's hop into the back end. So here in the back end, we're going to want to start out by going into our notification type. So that's going to be inside of our models and then notification type. And then at the end of this, at the end of follow, I'm just going to go ahead and add in mention, like so. And then we need to go into our notification service, I believe. And here inside of a list of non-new post notification types, we're going to add in notification type and then .mention, like so. That way that can be considered a non-notification or a non-post notification. And then finally, I want to go and maybe add a mention notification inside of our backend SQL. So let's go into the data SQL. We already have a bunch of notifications here. Basically, all I'm going to do is I'm going to go and insert a post really quick. So here, let's go ahead and adding a post that says what's up at unknown coder. It's now, and then a few other things. And we need to also go ahead and put in a notification for that. So here we'll go ahead and say like 10, and this will be false. And then now, and then we will have, whoops, maybe 7 will be the person making it, I believe. Or no, that's the type. 3 is the person making it. 3 null. And then the action user will be 5. So now, fingers crossed, that should make a notification of type mention that is not acknowledged. So now we need to go ahead and restart our server. And if this doesn't quite work, I'll go ahead and fix it up because sometimes I typo. And then I'll see you guys back in the front end because that's all we need to do back here. So it seems like our data is set. Let's go back into the front end. So there's a couple more utility things we need to set up before we actually finish up our mention notifications. So let's go into our global interfaces and let's go find where our notification is. So here we need to add a new notification type. So we're going to go to the end where follow is. Let's go ahead and add this like so, and then we'll say mention. So now mention should be a valid notification type. Then we need to go into our notification slice and set up a couple things to actually receive mention notifications. So let's go into our notification slice. So first we need to go where our received notifications are. So here, receive notifications. So I had this one way, but I'm gonna go ahead and take it back the other way. So here, whenever we have a case for reply, we're gonna also add case for mention, maybe. And we're going to go ahead and treat mention and reply in the same vein. we're just going to go ahead and add it to our mention notifications. And I was going to go ahead and add this to post action notifications, but this doesn't make much sense because we're already passing in the mention notifications into our notifications all page. So I'm not going to actually do that unless we run into an issue. So next we need to go into our load notifications extra reducer and more or less do the same thing. So for reply, we're going to once again add a case for mention notifications, and we're going to go ahead and push those into the mentions notifications. Again, originally I was going to add these to the post action notifications, but after thinking about it, that doesn't make any sense because we're already passing the mention notifications into our notifications all. So that would basically duplicate some notifications, and we don't want that. And finally, we need to go into our red notifications. So once again, this is going to be very similar. We're going to go where our reply is. This is going to basically be a mention, and this will be case mention like so, and then we're going to go ahead and add those to our mentions notifications. And I think that's more or less all we need to do. Pretty simple. Now we can go ahead and go into our mention notification and kind of use that. And right now, theoretically, we should see a mention notification. I think it's just not going to really look that well, but we can go ahead and check the front end and see if that notification is actually showing up. So let's give it a refresh and see. Fingers crossed we see a mention notification. Otherwise, we might need to do some debugging. I'm not seeing it. It's showing up here though, so that's good. It might be the way that we're not putting it in notifications all right now whenever we're kind of doing our switch case, but we saw that there's 6 notifications there to start out, and I might need to restart my server again because I got rid of that one whenever I went to mentions, but it is working. So let's go into our mention notification and get it so that it can accept mentions as well. All right, so now we're gonna go down where we are mapping our notifications. So here, and what we're gonna go ahead and do is we need to make a change. So we still have our feed post, and the post is what's going to change. So we're going to check to see if we actually have a reply because our mentions won't have reply. Say notification.reply. Otherwise, we're just going to have notification.post, notification.post like so. So basically, if there's a reply, the post would be the reply. Otherwise, it would just be the repost. And then here reply to, we're going to do something similar as well. We're going to say notification type is equal to reply like so, question mark. If that's the case, it'll be notification post. Otherwise, we won't have a reply. So that should be that. And then we'll have false this. And I'm not sure if we are missing something here. Oh, and we need to do this. We don't care if reply is not null. That's why it wasn't showing up. So we need to get rid of that. We just make sure the notification.post isn't null. And I believe that's everything we need to do. And then here, instead of returning a post, we're actually going to go ahead and return a notification wrapped in a post, or a post wrapped in a notification. So notification, and let's bring this in from there. So notification icon will be nothing. We need to do some more CSS to make this work. We'll fix that in a second. Notifications will equal to this, and then we'll say notification like so. And then let's go ahead and wrap this post here, and I'm not sure why this is mad. I'll figure that out in a sec. Delete that and then paste it in there. It was just mad because it didn't have any children. So there we go. And then this will be the same notification ID, feed post, and then notification true. And then there's going to be some CSS, like I said, that we'll need to work on with notification probably. But now, fingers crossed, we should do notification because of this notification post not equal to null. And it said reply not equal to null. Obviously, there's a mention, it's not a reply. So let's go ahead and take a look to see if this is working now. Let's refresh. Let's go to our mentions. Yep, there's a little bit of funkiness because there's no reply to, and this needs to be gone, but we're going to work on that in a second. But this is what it should look like. So that's looking good. So now let's go into our notification component to actually handle some of this stuff and make it so that this doesn't look funky anymore. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to actually set up the handle notification clicked because this logic isn't quite perfect. So we're going to go ahead and do the do more work part. So basically it's going to set up a switch case here. So switch, and we're going to go ahead and switch on notifications 0.notification type, as we normally do. And then we're going to have a few cases. So for case of follow, we're going to have an if and notifications dot length is equal to 1. Then we're going to go ahead and navigate maybe to slash, we want backticks here, backticks slash $ curly brace, notifications 0 action user.username. So if it's only one person, we'll go ahead and we're going to navigate to that person who followed you. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and go to your basically followers. So we're going to go ahead and delete this, and this will be the same logic. So go ahead and put that there. So there's that case, and then we will break so we don't run through, maybe. And then for case, there's going to be a bunch of the same for case like, for case of repost, for case of mention, and for case of reply. We're all going to do the same thing. We're going to go ahead and make sure we have a notification, or a post. If notifications 0.post, it should be there, but you never know. It's optional. We're going to go ahead and navigate to backticks /post / curly brace notifications 0.post ID. So we'll go ahead and navigate to that post page, and then we will break. And let's see if I scuffed anything. Nope, it looks good. So that's pretty simple. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to make some changes here. So this part is going to get a little bit messy, and I'm probably going to break something. So basically what we want is we want another $ curly brace here. We're going to say notifications 0.notification type is not equal to reply, and whoops. And we're going to say notifications 0.notification type not equal to mention. So if either of those, like I said, this is going to be messy. We're going to have basically a space, and we're going to say notification -padding. Otherwise, we're going to have nothing. We're going to add padding if it's a post, because we're not adding the padding on the post itself. So that was a little bit of a mess, and hopefully I got that working properly. And then we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to say if notifications 0.notification type not equal to mention. Then we'll go ahead and do this. Whoops, and I broke this. And so if it's not a reply and if it's not a mention, we want to go ahead and show the top and everything. That's a big thing there. I think that's everything in here. We need to add the padding, but I want to see if the notification top is showing up now. So let's go back into our front end really quick. Now you can see we just have this. This part is inside of the post. So I think we're going to go back and fix that. Don't worry about this @ symbol. We're going to go and get rid of that, but this is looking good. Now we're going to go ahead and actually fix the notification, which this actually looks pretty good. So I'm not sure what's going on with this, because the padding should be scuffed. It might be, yeah, okay, it's these ones. So we're going to fix the padding on these. Let's go back into the CSS and fix those padding. So we're going to go into our notification.css, and then I'm just going to go to the bottom. I'm just going to say dot notification, whoops, dash padding, and this is just going to be padding of 12px and 16px. I think I take this off of this notification. I'm going to go ahead and delete that as well. And then let's see. So that didn't do what I expected. So I might need to do some debugging here. I'm not sure what's going on with it, but we'll take a look at it and get it fixed. For now, we're going to go ahead and move on. So now let's go ahead and make it so we can take in mention and reply notifications into our notifications all. So let's go back to notifications all. And I don't know if I've set up reply. I did set up reply. I think this is primarily okay. I just didn't remember what I had done last episode. So we're going to add a case here for mention, and it's going to be pretty similar. We're going to have a const feed post, and we need to actually do this. This is really annoying, but it is what it is. We're going to go ahead and say let feed post like so, and then we're going to go ahead and we'll have our feed post here. And I think we need to get rid of this as well. And then we're going to go ahead and say that our feed post is equal to, and then post here will be notification list of 0.post bang. We're going to have reply to will be null. We're going to have repost is false, and repost user will just have notification list 0. the action user just because we have to have it. It was not very good thinking on my part doing it like that. Let's clean this up. This is ugly. Okay, and then here we'll go ahead and return. And we're going to return a notification with icon equal to nothing, because it's a mention. The notifications will equal to notification list, like so. And then here we're going to go ahead and say post with a key equal to notification list of 0 dot notification ID. We'll have feed post equal to feed post, and we'll have notification equal to true. Okay, it was just mad because we weren't returning anything. So now technically mention notifications should pop up. So let's see if this is actually the case. There we go. We see what's up unknown coder. So there's that. Now we need to go into post and make it so this can work with mentions as well. So let's go back into our post. Inside of post, we're going to go down to line 113. And what we're going to go and say is we're going to say notification, and we're going to say feed post dot reply to. So if there's a reply to, we want to go and show that. We also want to do something on line 103. So on line 103, we're also going to go ahead and say notification and feed post dot reply to. So we also want to check to make sure it's a reply, to make sure it says replying to. So now let's see what it looks like. So there's that gone. So we need to figure out what's going on with this. I think maybe originally the post itself had some padding on it maybe, and that's what I'm missing. I'm not sure, but we're almost done with everything here. So let's just wrap up the rest of this, and then we'll go through and fix up everything else. So we actually did need Twitter because we need the verified notification image. So let's hop onto Twitter one more time. So basically all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna right click, save image as, and then save it. I already have it, so I'm just gonna go and bring it in to my code here. All right, there we go. Now we can see our notification PNG right there. Now what we're gonna go ahead and do is go into our features. We're gonna go into our notification components. We're gonna hit A. We're gonna go ahead and say verified notifications. So verified notifications slash, and then verified, I think I spelled that right, notifications.tsx. We're going to go ahead and say verified notifications.css. And hopefully I spelled everything right. I think that looks good. Let's go into the TSX. Let's just import React from React. This is going to be a pretty simple page here. We're going to go ahead and import our verified notification image, and this is going to be from, we need to go all the way back to our assets. So go back too far, assets slash, and we call this verification dash notification.png, and then we're going to go ahead and import the CSS. So import dot slash slash, dot slash, actually just dot slash verified notification.css. And then let's go and export const, maybe verified notification react.fc arrow function. And this will be pretty simple. Return the div class name equal to verified dash notification. Here we'll have our image src equal to, and then verified notification alt will be equal to verified notifications, like so. And let's actually make sure this is a string, otherwise it won't work. And we didn't need the curly braces. I just get in the habit of doing that. We'll have an h1, the class name equal to, and then this will be verified dash notification. I don't know what I'm doing with these curly braces. Verified dash notification dash header. And then inside, what we're going to have is just nothing to see here. Dash dash yet. I should grab that straight from Twitter. That is what it is. I'm not that concerned about it. P class name equal to, and this will be verified dash, and then notification dash text. I'm sure I'm going to spell something wrong here. Likes, mentions, repost, and a whole lot more dash dash when it comes from a verified account. And it'll say you'll find it here dot. I'm going to go ahead and add a space like that because that's the easiest way to do that. We're going to have a span with a class name equal to, and this is going to be verified, verified dash notification dash text dash underline, and this is going to be learn more. And this goes to like a whole different page. We're not going to do this page. It's like a Twitter specific like text page that's just not dynamic whatsoever. So we're not going to make it. So that should be good to go, I hope. So let's go ahead and go into the CSS. So once again, the CSS should be pretty simple here. We'll have our dot verified dash notification class. This would be width of 100%, height of fit content. And then this is kind of weird. It has a padding, and the padding is massive with 32 px and then 124 px. So I'm just kind of basing off what Twitter did. xsub.verified dash notification dash and then header. Here we'll have margin 0. We'll have padding 0. We'll have font dash size 31 px. We'll have font dash weight maybe of 900, and finally we'll have margin dash bottom 12 px. Simple enough. We'll have dot verified maybe dash notification dash text. This will have margin of 0, padding of 0, a font dash size of 16 px. It'll have a font dash weight of 400, and it'll have a color of pound, and this will be 657786. It's like a dark gray. Finally, I have verified dash notification dash text dash underline. Here I have margin of 0, I have a padding of 0, I have a font dash weight of 800, I have a color of black, we have text dash decoration of underline, and finally we have a cursor of pointer. So that guy is pretty dang simple. Not much to do there. Now we need to go ahead and actually add this to our notifications page. Let's go back in there. Inside of our notifications page, we need to add a new location. We're going to add curly braces like so. We're going to say location dot path name equal to, and this is going to be slash notifications slash verified. And then we're going to go ahead and have our verified notification like so, and fingers crossed I didn't typo anything. There's a big chance I did. Let's go and check it out. Cannot find verified notification.css, so I definitely spelled something wrong. So let's go ahead and see what's going on here. So let's see what I spelled wrong. Oh, it's because this one should be without an S. Make sure we save everything. Let's try again. Give it a refresh. Go into verified. There we go. Looks fine. So now there's one last fix I want to do before I try to figure out what the heck's going on with this guy and what's going on with this guy. And this is getting pretty long, so I don't know if we'll be able to fit it in or not, but let's see. So let's go back into our code. So the last fix, I want to go into our learn more modal content. So here I completely messed this up. So inside this H2, so on line 27, instead of group text, this should be group heading. So heading, and then I think there's another thing on line 31. So this one is also mention I have a second modal. So fix that up. This group text should be heading as well. So heading, I don't know how I didn't notice this inside the video. I guess I was just blind to that video, and this should also be heading as well, like that. And I believe that's everything. Now if we go back into our application again and go into our mentions, click learn more, that looks a lot better. Now the last thing, I don't know what's going on with this. I'm wondering if this is supposed to have some padding that I missed. Let me check. Yeah, it's missing padding left and top. So let's go ahead and fix that. Let's check to see if the CSS got imported into this. I do not see the CSS in this. So let's go ahead and say imports / notification users text.css. Maybe that's the issue. The next question is this CSS being imported. Did I somehow forget to import both those CSSs? Let's check this one as well. It looks like I forgot the CSS for this one as well. How did I forget the CSS for both of these? Or did something not get saved? I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and import / notification post content.css. I think that's gonna go ahead and do it. This text is really small, so I don't know if we want to make the text smaller for this, but this one is supposed to be like, it's like a repost to a post, so I think it's fine. But I'm gonna go and wrap it up here. I know that we need to go ahead and fix up this as well, because this should basically be solid. But I don't really feel like going through and doing all of these. Also, this list is way different than it was before, so it's gonna be fun fixing that up. I don't know how I missed adding in the CSS last episode. Maybe I was just in a hurry or something. But anyway, guys, this has been a pretty long episode. I'm gonna try to make it one big episode if I can. I know I do have some stuff to cut out, so hopefully I can get it under 40 minutes, make it one episode, get notifications done. If not, this will be the second part of it, obviously, and we'll be just wrapping up and debugging in the second part. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Everything helps out with the YouTube algorithm. If you guys do want to see where it started from scratch to now, there should be a playlist down below. I think I was checking, maybe I haven't been adding these to there. It used to be default by adding it, so I might need to look into adding these again. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you all for watching. This has been Ethan Uncoder. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.